Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Marketing and Business Show. As always, my name is Peter Langan. I'm joining you from Sligo in Ireland, and I'm joined by my business partner, good friend, as always, Alex Holowko. Alex, how are you doing? How is the internet in Scotland?
How's the internet in Scotland? Ropey. This is the fourth time we tried to record this.
Yeah. I'm looking here on my computer, right? And because I'm the administrator on the podcast, I can see a lot of stats, right? So the stats I'm looking at: Peter host 720p, 99% uploaded. Alex guest 720p, 27% uploaded, 26% uploaded. We're going down, folks. That's where things are at right now. I have fiber. Alex, what type of broadband do you want?
Pigeon or hamster wheel.
Ropey. Beep, 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 beep.
Dial up, yeah.
Morse code. Scotland. But no, all is well. Alex, how has your week been? How is all? This is only the beginning of the week. This is a Monday.
Good, yeah, busy in the good way. Waking up super early at like 5 a.m. and trying to get my work done by like 10, 11 o'clock. Feel real productive in the morning. And yeah, just loving getting into that way of spending my day, really. And then
super.
Usually the gym, some mountain biking.
I remember I used to be. Wow, very good, very good. I remember I used to be. I was doing a previous job of mine. I used to start like 4:45 in the morning. And I remember like I do that fine for a few days, but eventually you get tired. I don't know. Are you managing the tiredness all right? Or are you just going to bed early, or what way are you working it? Both ends, Cannell?
No, like I don't know. People have always said I have a knack for doing a lot, and I just find ways of trying to make energy or create energy or regenerate energy even. So like for me, that's usually exercise. Usually people would think doing like intense training sessions would drain you, which it does sometimes, but I almost feel like a sense of like rejuvenation after it, and I feel just alive. Like I want to go and do more stuff, and I feel way more clearer and like more productive. So yeah, that's the same for any kind of exercise for me.
Absolutely amazing. I'm actually finding that myself, actually, as everyone knows, listen to the podcast, I've got really big into the gym. I think that's probably, I have to say now, you're probably an encouragement in that, like, because every time we were chatting, I was like, I'm off to the gym. I'm like, let's get into this gym lark, see what it's like. So I've started going to the gym, as everyone knows. I go every day now. First thing I do when I get up, like, it's just like gym. That's what I do. Head off there. I run. Today I ran, I think it was about 5K. Then on and started doing like some weights. And I know you said to me I got up to 30 repetitions. Didn't even know what a rep was, but now it's a repetition. Did 30 repetitions on different machines. Again, don't ask me what. I've said that I don't know what they're called. But you were saying do 15 and add some extra weight. So that is something I'm going to try tomorrow. So it's very exciting.
Or even less than that, but like maybe even just a max of 10 or 12 reps. But just every time you reach that, just start adding a little bit of weight and then build that weight up to that weight and just increase the volume over time. That's how you would get stronger. So yeah, I mean, should we move on to what we're going to talk about today, Peter?
Yeah, I think so. So what we're going to talk about today is something that if you have not already heard about it, you will be hearing about it, well, on this podcast, but I can guarantee you'll be hearing about it everywhere within the next couple of months. I think like it's not going to change the world. It already has. Now, we did touch on it in one of the previous episodes, one of the first episodes. We just give it like a momentary like kind of pass. But I think this deserves a bit more of attention. What I'm talking about, it is AI, artificial intelligence, and more specifically, Chat GPT. Alex, what do you make of Chat GPT?
It's extremely interesting. Like a friend from around here introduced me to it, and he sent me a link to it a couple of weeks ago when it first got released. And he was like, dude, you've got to check this out. And he's a marketing nut like I am. And I was like, what is this Chat GPT thing? Mm-hmm. And as soon as I started using it, and the light bulb goes off inside your head as to how powerful this thing and how powerful it is and how it works, I don't even know what I was going to say then. But like, you're literally mind blown by how this will change the way we go about life and literally everything. So it's a very interesting piece of kit. I mean, tell you what, Peter, you tell the people listening to this or watching this video, like, what is Chat GPT?
So Chat GPT it's artificial intelligence. It's different models. Now I can't go into like real depth of how the models work. I would say in normal that's above my pay grade, but the reality is whatever it does, it works really well. Now I know I studied neural networking in college. Now what neural networking is, maybe this is getting a bit technical, but I'll explain it. This bit that I know. I think this is how it works. Neural networking is modeling computers after how the human brain works, and basically computers that learn. Now, ChatGPT is a language model, and reality is you can ask it any question. You can ask it prepare a letter, blog post, podcast script, movie script, anything
Endless.
you can think of, you can ask it. And nine times out of 10, it'll give you a very, very appropriate and constructive answer. Is that a good description, Alex? I don't know. Did I do it justice?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a surface level of how powerful this thing is, but it doesn't sound that interesting. But as soon as you go on to try it, I mean, if you've not experienced how powerful Chat GPT is, go on to Chat. Is it OpenAI? What's the website, Peter? Chat GPT. Search on Google.
Chat.openai.com.
Go to that website, and you can set a free account up and just have a play around with it, and you'll start to experience how powerful it is. And the thing with ChatGPT is it's as powerful as the questions that you ask it. So if you ask it a very basic question, it will probably give you a very surface level answer. If you start to give it context and ask it to act as if you were somebody, or you will get some very deep responses. And I can't even believe how powerful this thing is. But like Peter said, let's just give you an example of how we could use it as people on this podcast or YouTube creators or whatever. Let's say, for example, I want to create a new YouTube video, and I want it to be around this camera here I'm holding on my video. I could ask ChatGPT. I could say to it, write me an outline for a YouTube video on a GoPro Max camera. And it would work away and it would bang out an outline for a video within seconds. Then you can ask it, okay, can you elaborate on those bullet points, those talking points, and turn it into a blog post? ChatGPT will work its magic and you'll have a blog post. You can ask it to then turn that blog post into a Twitter tweet. You can ask it to turn it into an Instagram caption. That literally, it is endless. And once you start playing around with it, your mind will literally be blown.
I remember, Alex, we were trying to figure out like a pricing model for a business we're involved in. And we asked Chat GPT to come up with like 7 pricing models. And it came up with 7 pricing models there in front of us. And then we asked it to elaborate more on them. And eventually it guided us towards, a pricing model that we were happy with. I'm after asking it, explain quantum computing in simple terms. And it's after explaining it to me in about 6 sentences. I remember I seen someone actually, this was pretty mad. I was on Facebook. I was looking at, they wanted a new sort of a slider for their site. So, a slider and a calculator, it did a specific function. They asked the question to ChatGPT. It printed the code for this custom slider. Like that was never made before, but it made it for them. Like that's pretty deep stuff. But I think it points out something that, as you sort of touched on there, it's only as good as the question you ask it. Because if you ask it a bad question, it'll give you a bad answer. Whereas if you ask it a very detailed question like he did, his input into the browser for this calculator was something like 10, 12 lines long. But then it printed the code from. Like that would have cost him, a couple $100 perhaps to get that made before ChatGPT, and it just did it for free in about, about 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, you might be thinking that this, my brain's just like on fire at the minute thinking all these different things, but it will literally change how we go about what we're doing for a good, in a good way. I mean, some people seem to think that it's a bad thing because it literally will remove people's jobs. Like it will make some jobs
100%.
just non-existent because ChatGPT saves time, saves money, does it faster. It's a system, and that will remove the requirement for any human error or any human input. which is insane. But equally, it will also create new jobs as well, which I don't know what they will be, but it will open up new opportunities for people, which is also crazy to think about. Like this, Chat GPT is almost like the start of what AI will turn everything into, and Web 3.0, whatever it is. Like, I think a lot of people have kind of heard the term AI.
I think it's higher than 3.0, Alex.
How powerful it is.
4 or 5.0.
Yep, I think people have heard how powerful AI is, but this will blow things out of the water, and this is only the beginning.
So you were saying, Alex, you were using it for, like, you know, maybe helping you do a YouTube video. We used it to like get different pricing models for a business. I use it a lot for, if I write something, I ask it to rewrite it. I just paste it in and it rewrites it. And then eventually, you know, I take a bit of it, I put it into my writing and I move it all around. And I don't use it like word for word what it produces generally, but I take bits of it and make my own work better. I think that's what AI is going to be about in the future, is like using bits of it to make your own stuff better. And it saves down. Like if I want to do something really quickly, it saves all that hard thinking. It's just like, it puts it together into, basically, I think it does about 95, 97% of the work in a lot of cases. In some cases it does 100%, but often it does all the heavy lifting in nearly anything you need to do. And it's funny, there's actually another model that they've come out with, and it's not just on text, it's on graphics. So you can ask it to, you know, make a graphic of whatever you want. I asked it to do a Range Rover off-roading in an Irish bog. Like a really random question. Sure enough, it made about 6 images. Yeah, I know. It's pretty mad. Like I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything.
Yeah. So that's just kind of like a bit of an introduction to Chat GPT. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that or listen to this podcast, but go and play with it. Go and play with Chat GPT and go and have a play with, is it called DALL-E, Peter? DALLE or something?
Yeah, DALLE. Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
And that's the image generator.
I wonder what that means.
AI. Yeah, I don't know what it means, but either way,
yeah, but I wonder
go and play with it.
The meaning behind it.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely. And to be honest with you guys,
just touch quickly on.
Fire ahead, Alex. Go, go, go. The internet's still at 39%.
I think we're having, my upload speed is ridiculous tonight, guys. I think I tell you what, let's call this podcast. Let's just wrap this podcast up now as an introduction to ChatGPT, and maybe we'll do another podcast on some of the deeper use cases of it, limitations and stuff like that. Because I think it's so interesting when you actually understand the power of it. But because of my internet speed, let's just let's cut this back for a 10-15 minute.
I'm going to make a bet here, Alex. I want to make a bet though before we go. I think it's going to be one, like I know Microsoft invested a lot in it, and I know Elon Musk was involved in it a bit at the beginning, but I'm going to make a bet. I think that's going to be one of the largest, if not the largest company in the world in the very near future.
It would not surprise me in the slightest at all.
I think that's a very, very good bet. And I am really excited to see where this AI stuff goes. Some people are very nervous of it. They think, you know, the computers might outsmart the people, all this sort of jazz. I don't know. But I think people have been saying about every technological invention. You know, the tractors were going to make everyone starve, like, you know, in the countryside, but they didn't. They just meant people just changed their jobs. Every time this sort of like industrial leap comes along, and I think it's going to be before AI and after AI, but every time this happens, people are terrified. That's because people are terrified of change. I really think this is going to be absolutely so powerful for the people that embrace it. But for the people that stick their head in the sand and say, I wish this would go away, and we're going to, like, you know, we're going to vote this out and we're going to stop this from coming into schools or into anything else, there's no point, because it's not going to work. So you may as well just embrace innovation and leverage it. And, you know, look at the advantages, look at the upsides instead of the downsides. I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah, learn it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, folks, now we need to ask you something, guys. We can see, actually, this is just something we need to do before we leave, Alex. We can see a lot of you guys are enjoying the show. You know, we're starting to get a bit of a following, a bit of a gang here. Like, there's people watching this, but they're all lurking in the background, Alex. Like, they're not really like saying hello. They're just like consuming content, but they're not, you know, saying, guys, well done. So if you are one of those people lurking in the background, which we are very grateful for, make sure to subscribe. make sure to, rate us. Obviously a 5. I would, if there's a 6 rating available, you'd probably rate a 6, I know. But make sure to do that. And yeah, we're excited about the podcast. It's lovely to see people enjoying it. It's lovely people consuming. And actually, Alex, I want to tell you something. The most listened to episode so far on the Marketing and Business Show was the time we lost £8,000. So our audience obviously just enjoys watching us lose money. So the more money we lose, the bigger our audience. That's the correlation I've made there.
Great correlation.
It is. It's very true, but that's what the stats say. They don't lie. The data doesn't lie.
No.
But folks, nonetheless, have a great day, a great week. We'll see you again very, very soon. And thanks for listening.
See you guys.